Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Stevie Nicks. She is my soul sister. I'm just kidding. I say that because she was born on May 26th. For those of you that are not aware, tomorrow is my birthday, so that is also her birthday as well, and I felt like this would be a great gift to give Miss Stevie Nicks if she happens to even know who I am or look at this channel, and maybe enjoy a psychic reading. So I've always been a big fan. If you're not familiar with who she is a singer, songwriter, she is a performer, she is an actress. She was on American Horror Stories, I believe, but she is from Fleetwood Mac. And if you haven't, they've had a lot of albums. Belladonna, The Wild Heart, Rock a Little. These are some of her work, but they've had a lot of discographies and other works. And she's been in movies, like I said. So if you haven't seen her in American Horror Story Apocalypse, it was in 2018. The episode is Boy Wonder. Check it out. All right. So I'm going to tell you the tea, what I get from her. A lot of people wonder, is she a witch? Is she not? I feel like she is in many ways, but not a bad thing, because people, when they hear the word witch, they think immediately someone that's dark, evil, and works with Satan, and that's not the case. I feel like she works from a place of light, very balanced, very connected to nature. She has this magnetic thing that a lot of us Geminis tend to have, which is it's her aura. It's very for her. I feel like she is an indigo, and she's also, I feel like, I want to say she's a yellow as well. So she has two different colors in her aura. But I feel like the indigo part of her is like very special, very meticulous with her work, very hands-on approach. She is all about making change and bringing about change in the world. And that was like her whole life mission. The yellow is more meticulous, it's more organized, more linear, things like that. And so I feel like for her, it was all about coming to this lifetime and being a performer and being a voice for women, especially because, she is a female. I feel like, her whole mission was to help women through her music, through, the band, through her presence. And I feel like she's done that. At this point in her life, I feel like she is maybe working on, I feel like she may have like two more albums in this lifetime, before she decides someday to, her soul decides to transition. She's in her 70s, I believe. So I feel like she is in a point right now where she has nothing left to prove to anyone. And I never feel like she was very competitive in her life, where she, always said, I need to be doing this or I need to do that. She's very much a free spirit. Sure, she was driven maybe by some competition, everyone is, but I feel like in many ways she tried to always get out of that mind frame and be operating from a very authentic place. And so when I get into Stevie, I feel like, she is someone that would be, your best friend, and has a lot of wisdom to impart to the younger generations and people that she's come across. Too, she's helped them in so many ways, whether it was imparting some kind of advice or doing something that needed to be, done at that time. So for me, I also feel like she's a healer in some ways, and she came in to heal people through her, her style. A lot of women have emulated her. A lot of the Wiccan or witch community have embraced her, because I feel like she's always been true and authentic to herself through everything that she has done. I feel like right now, she is in a period of celebration, or she will be over the next 2 years. There's going to be some things, either somebody like an award ceremony, or someone commemorating Fleetwood Mac or commemorating her. And I hate to use the word commemorate because she's still living, but I mean like a tribute is what I'm getting at. I feel like there will be like some kind of tribute, something of someone, maybe like trying to bring her on to their show, to talk about, her life and her life story. She's a very strong woman when it comes to her mind and the mental aspect of who Stevie Nicks is. I feel like she has a lot of things to say, and she's held back a lot, but I also feel like it's going to help her get new projects out. So like discography, like I said, I feel like she's working on an album. If she hasn't already, she's almost there. I feel like she's done a lot of writing as well, and it's been cathartic for her to write. And that's like a form of therapy for a lot of people that are air signs like she is, that are always very creative, and always in our minds. We're always up there in the air, kind of like very busy thinking about all kinds of different things that we could do. I keep feeling like there's someone that's going to do like a or has done a painting for her. This would be some kind of painting or some kind of sculpture in the works. Someone that is very artistic, that may be presenting that to her. And then they show me something that I don't know what this means. But again, I just give what I see. And it's like the symbol of an egg. So I don't know what the egg represents for her. If there was like a little statue, or they're referencing Easter, Spirit is referencing Easter, because that's the only other kind of connection that I can make to the egg. So the month of April being very important to her, even though she was born in May. There is something about the egg, which the egg for me symbolizes a cycle, new birth. So I feel like in many ways when Spirit presents that to me, is that she is going through a new cycle in her life. Even though she is at her age, she's still very youthful. And I feel like there's so much more that she can do. And I do feel like she is looking at her money, and how can she, continue to have some, even though she's rich, how she can continue to improve upon what she has already. And again, this is her generous part, working with charities, giving to people. This is something that she's always going to attract good karma to herself, because she gives so much back that she doesn't publicly speak about. I also feel like there is going to be there's something about her love life. Now, Stevie, she has been married like 3 times, or she's had several relationships throughout her lifetime, right? But a lot of people have, like Marilyn Monroe, like Elizabeth Taylor. They've all had their own partnerships. But for her, I feel like in this lifetime, one of her biggest challenges was love. And when we look at people that have had multiple partners or have been married multiple times, we tend to see that those are areas of karmic lessons that we have brought into this lifetime. And for her, I feel like love was something that was a very about passion, very much about healing her and healing the other person. But at the same time, it has become a cycle that we see over and over. Now, I don't know who would be in her life right now, but Spirit does talk about a man, does talk about, having like someone that is a friend more than anything in her life. And I feel like there may be questions that she may have at this time, about whoever this person would be in her life. And Spirit is saying that this is a time of fulfillment, a time of communicating from her heart space, and really letting this person know that it's okay, and for her to know it's okay, because I feel like in many ways she may be afraid that she will end up, transitioning out of this body that she's in eventually when that time comes, because we all do, and she will be alone. And I just get that she's not meant to be alone. She's meant to have partners, but part of her lesson was to master why she was, going through relationships, and why these relationships perhaps didn't work out. And so with her, I feel like in many ways she has learned and mastered that in so many ways. And so now it's like she's being given another chance at true love, whether it develops into a relationship or a marriage, etc. I feel like she's not going to necessarily marry again, but I do feel like she will be connected to someone on a very romantic level. And I do feel like on some level as well that she is going through, she feels almost like she was always labeled, or she feels almost like she was judged by many people for being something that she's not, or they've tried to put her in a category that she feels on some level limited her career, or has limited her career. But I feel again she's very balanced, and she doesn't live with that regret, but from time to time this can creep up into her mind and make her think that, or feel like, maybe I should have done this differently, or if I could go back. And she looks at like a magazine photo shoot, right, or a cover, she's like, I could do this so differently and it would be so different. But it's all about growth for her. And I feel like she's come into her own womanhood. Even in her 70s, she is still inspiring women from all ages that are younger, that are listening to her, and men too, not just women, but men, younger generations of boys and girls that are listening to Fleetwood Mac, or listening to Stevie Nicks and her music and her message, because she has said a lot. She has spread a good message throughout her music, a message of love, a message of standing true to who you are. Um, when I do look at her, I feel like there is something about at this point of traveling, but with the way that the world is right now, I feel like she can't necessarily travel, but I do feel like there is something here about her wanting to travel, to do more. It's almost like she is, I don't know, they show me building, construction. I don't know what this is about. Maybe she is building or thinking of having some kind of addition added to her home, or some kind of construction over the next 18 months, but I see that. I also feel like she may be the victim of psychic attacks, and you would think that someone in at her age, wouldn't have psychic attacks. But let me tell you, you can be in your 80s or 90s and you can still go through psychic attacks. Psychic attacks is non-discriminating. It's like, it doesn't matter what age you're at, people will still tap into your energy. And I do believe that there are many people out there that are still jealous of her, that are younger, or that feel like, she put on a certain image and they don't agree with it. That would be younger generations and whatnot. So for Stevie, it's very important to continue to work with like crystals, and work with the color gold for her is part of her essence and the divine masculine, because Stevie does operate out of the divine masculine energy, meaning that she's very feminine, but at the same time she thinks like a man, and she is very abrasive and very and I mean that in a good way. Abrasive means that she takes no shit from anybody, and she expresses herself, and I'm sorry for using the word shit, but that's how I can get it across. Like, she takes no she doesn't hold back, and that's good. She's always been firm, and she's gotten to that level to let men and women who've tried to maybe bamboozle her, or try to pull one over her, a fast one in the industry, and she's let them know. That's why I feel like she has people that are still looking to see, when is she going to retire? When is she going to not necessarily retire, but not make any more music and stuff. And I feel like she is going to continue to do that. She still has an important message. Let me just take a sip of water here. She still has an important message, and she has still a lot of things to accomplish. But I do feel like within the next couple of months, there is a situation where a younger person, this could be like a younger male, kind of comes in. I don't know exactly, but I feel like this may be more business oriented, and tries to create chaos or create some kind of disturbance in her peace. And she's going to let them have it, because she is not having it, and they can't touch her. But in some ways, they're going to see how they can do this. And I feel like this could be around her career around music. Maybe someone sampling one of her songs, or sampling a Fleetwood Mac song without, there is something about that. And I feel like she will set them straight. And again, I feel like, she still has a lot of things to accomplish here on Earth. Writing is very important. I know that maybe books have been written about her. I don't know if she's written any books about herself, but I feel like there is like a memoir or something eventually that is going to come out eventually. This would be something new, and not like a previously published part or book publication or anything like that, but something entirely new as well. And then the spirit keeps showing me a lot of her jewelry, things that she has. I feel like she is either going to give some away, or she is going to sell them eventually, but I feel like there's something about jewelry as well. And I see like a jewelry box, and I see her having different jewelry from different eras still saved, and it brings back memories and things of that nature. And as far as there is a guy around her that would not be in the physical world anymore, and this guy, I keep hearing him say, "Tell him that I love Stevie. Tell her that I love her. Tell her that I am thankful that she was in my life." So I feel like this may have been like someone that she worked with, maybe in her band, or maybe in her everyday surroundings. But this person recognizes that they were not always very pleasant, always to work with everybody in the band or everybody in the group. Again, I don't know who this is, but this was a guy whose life was cut short. I feel like they passed at a time in their life where they were not meant to pass, but they did. And so this person is around her, and that's the message that I get. And they are fine on the other side. And I feel like she may actually dream of this person and has felt that their presence around her. But that's what I get. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, please, at Psychic Medium Ray. Go ahead and follow me there. And if you want to book a private reading, you can visit my website at www.raymondguzman.net/readings. Blessings and love and light. Until next time. Bye.